You just got paid, and somehow your paycheck is already gone. You thought this paycheck would last longer, but before you know it, you're wondering where all the money went and why you're already falling behind again. I'll show you why this keeps happening, where your money is really leaking, and the simple changes that help you keep more of every paycheck. It feels confusing because you don't remember wasting your paycheck. You didn't walk into a store and spend it all in one afternoon. You weren't trying to be reckless. You paid your bills, grabbed a few things you needed, maybe picked up food because it was a busy day, renewed a subscription, or made a couple of quick purchases that didn't seem like a big deal. Then a few days later you check your account and wonder where the money went. That's what makes this so frustrating. It doesn't feel like one bad decision. It feels like your paycheck simply disappeared. The problem usually isn't one big expense. It's that small money leaks quietly pull money away before you notice they're happening. Most people look for one obvious mistake. They think there has to be one purchase they can point to and say, "That's what ruined my paycheck." But that's rarely how it happens. Money usually leaks through patterns. Maybe you stop for coffee every workday because it's convenient. Maybe food delivery becomes your default after a long day. Maybe several subscriptions keep renewing because they're small enough to ignore. Maybe you're paying extra fees simply because they've become normal. None of those feel expensive by themselves. That's why they're so difficult to notice. Your brain treats familiar spending as normal spending. Once a habit becomes automatic, you stop evaluating it. The money keeps leaving your account without you consciously deciding whether it's still worth it. That's why your paycheck seems to disappear so quickly. Not because you don't care about your money, but because many of your spending decisions aren't really decisions anymore. When these leaks continue month after month, they quietly slow down everything else you're trying to accomplish. Saving becomes harder. Paying off debt takes longer. Building an emergency fund feels impossible. Even getting a raise doesn't seem to change much because the extra money gets absorbed into the same spending patterns. Eventually, it starts affecting how you feel. You begin wondering if you're simply bad with money. You tell yourself you need more discipline. But the real problem isn't usually discipline. It's that your money is leaving in ways you never stopped to question. Until you find those patterns, every paycheck starts feeling smaller than it really is. In a moment, I'll show you a simple way to find the money leaks most people overlook without tracking every dollar they spend. The goal isn't to record every penny forever. The goal is to find the patterns. Start with your last 1 or 2 months of transactions. Instead of asking, "Where did all my money go?" ask, "What keeps happening?" Look for purchases that repeat. Look for convenience spending. Look for subscriptions you rarely use. Look for automatic renewals. Look for purchases that solved a temporary problem but quietly became permanent habits. Those are your money leaks. Once you identify them, don't try to eliminate everything. Choose 1 or 2 leaks that matter the most. Small changes repeated every payday usually save far more than trying to completely change your life overnight. That's how you keep more of your paycheck without feeling deprived. Beth used to think she simply wasn't earning enough. But after reviewing 2 months of spending, she noticed something surprising. It wasn't one huge expense. It was dozens of automatic choices she'd stopped noticing. A streaming service she rarely watched. Several convenience meals every week. Small online purchases that felt harmless at the time. She didn't eliminate everything. She picked the few habits that gave her the biggest return. Within a couple of paychecks, she finally felt like her money lasted longer, not because she made more, but because less of it quietly leaked away. You can do exactly the same thing. The next time you get paid, don't promise yourself you'll spend less. Instead, spend a few minutes looking for patterns. Find one leak. Fix one habit. Then repeat the process with your next paycheck. That's how lasting financial progress is built. If your paycheck has been disappearing, now you know where to start. Most of the problem isn't one big mistake, it's the small patterns you stopped seeing. Once you find those leaks, you can finally keep more of the money you earn. But finding the leaks is only part of the solution. A lot of people discover exactly where their money is going, and their budget still falls apart. In the next video, we'll look at why your budget looks good on paper but doesn't last in real life, and what to change so it finally works. The next video isn't ready yet because I'm still working on it. In the meantime, I recommend watching. If you don't control your money, it controls you. It shows why taking control of your money changes far more than your bank balance. It gives you more stability, better options, and a stronger foundation for everything you're building. If this series is helping you, I'd love to have you subscribe and continue the journey. And if you know someone whose paycheck always seems to disappear, share this video with them. It may be exactly what they need.